Alright, I'm here. Let me, turn music down a bit. Let me know if music is too loud or too soft. Also, if you hear, like, a weird echo in the music, also let me know. Because, I'm listening to it via my headphones just, hanging on my tripod over here. So if it sounds weird for you, let me know, and I will try to fix it. Because I don't want it to be, like, annoying to listen to. But, hello! How are you guys? I've got a weird set. Guys, I've got, like, tripods and arms and things everywhere. It's a weird setup. So hopefully you can hear me, hopefully you can see me. We are gonna work on some painting today. Pay no attention to this part. This was just like extra paint that I smeared on here. It's gonna be disappearing. But we did do the suit jacket here together on stream before. Here's the reference image. Oh good, I'm glad. I just want to make sure you guys can like see and hear. That's the important thing. And I feel like I figured something out. But boy does it look weird on my end. I feel like I should almost take a picture for you guys. I can take a picture of my setup. It's kind of... It probably doesn't look as weird. Probably doesn't look as weird as I think it does. But I'll post it in the Discord. But yes, hello, welcome. First things first, I am slightly changing what I'm doing on this project. So, for those that don't know what's going on here, I started this a while ago. It's hopefully gonna kind of match another painting that I did. It's sort of a painting. There's painting, obviously. I'm just gonna stream setup. There we go. Yeah, I just posted a photo in the Discord. It maybe doesn't look as hectic in the photo as it feels to me. I really like doing stuff that's kind of like multimedia. I like doing stuff that's multimedia. I like doing stuff that's a mix of painting and something else. I feel like this kind of started back in, I think I was in high school. I was taking a college painting. I did Running Start, so I was taking college classes when I was in high school, community college, and I took a painting class. And one of our final project was we went and stretched our own canvas. We went and built the frame, stretched our own canvas, made like a collage of pieces from. I'm like, camera. We went and made a collage of pieces from magazines, and then let me know if I become hard to hear while I'm facing this way. But we went and made like a collage of pieces from magazines, and then painted that. And the collage that I did, it had like a clock in the corner, kind of like here-ish. Oh my gosh, right where you can't see. Here-ish. And instead of painting the hands, I went and got like one of the like clock. You can get like little boxes that have like the hands, and you can like make your own clock. And I went and put an actual clock in the, poked a hole in the canvas, put a clock in it. And ever since then, I'm like, I like doing stuff like that. Actually, no. In the first time I ever did something like that, I think was in first grade. I don't know why I remember this, but I do remember doing this. This is not erasing very well. I think we're just gonna paint over it. I remember we read like the story, I think The Princess and the Pea. I think we probably read it together, and then we were doing like an arts and crafts project together, where, it was basically just like a little like flip book thing, where it had like the princess at the top, and then it had like a stack of mattresses, and I think we cut out all the mattresses, and colored them. And then there was like one at the bottom where you flipped it up, and there was the little pea at the bottom. I'm assuming you guys are all familiar with the old story of the Princess and the Pea. And for mine, I'm pretty sure I was in first grade, I was like, I have an idea for this, and I went and got a really thin straw from the cafeteria, and I got some string, and I set it up so that when you flipped up the bottom thing, I like attached the straw to the back of the page just for some support. When you pulled up the bottom flap, the princess fell off the bed. So I've always enjoyed doing kind of like kinetic and stuff like that. We did have snow. It's been warm today. It snowed not yesterday. Day before yesterday, and then it was just downpouring today and yesterday. And then my most recent sort of multimedia piece was this one. This one is lovingly, I can't really set that one down. It has stuff glued to the bottom, I'll just hold it. This one's lovingly titled Self-Portrait, but it also has all sorts of stuff. The crow's painted, the wire in its mouth is not, it's an actual piece of wire. Some of the things back here are painted that it's standing on, but most of this stuff is just random things that I glued to a canvas. There's like switches and random things that move in here. My name is done in like keyboard keys. Yeah, nothing but rain. Yeah, to be fair, it's been mostly rain. So, I like doing stuff like this, and I want to make this kind of be in the same family as this. The idea is that this is going to be another multimedia self-portrait to go with this multimedia self-portrait. Also, I got awards at the local fair. I got second place overall, looks like. So, I'm quite happy with that painting, if you couldn't tell. So the plan for this one, I kind of changed it slightly. Originally I was going to try and do things in kind of the shape of the head and stuff, but I'm not good at people. I'm not good at painting people. So my plan is to do kind of like the neutral background. I think I'm going to do it kind of darker where the, like, fading out, kind of darker to lighter where the head and the hand are going to be. And then the plan, right, 12 years of bad luck over here. What? Just like the painting fell over. Oh, it's okay, Luna. There's a kitty cat sleeping in a box over here. She looks concerned. But the plan is that I've got a bunch of pieces of broken mirror. So the plan here is that I'm gonna kind of paint the background, and then I'm gonna have pieces of mirror kind of like exploding out of like the neck of the shirt and out of the sleeve. That's kind of my plan. I don't know that we'll get to that today. I'm also not sure whether I want to do larger pieces here that then fans out into smaller pieces. I'm not sure on that. Probably larger pieces here that fan out to the smaller pieces, so it kind of like goes out. That's the plan for this piece. But I want to get the painting done first. Put that mirror back there. So we already finished this suit jacket here. We did this on a previous live stream. I want to finish the bow tie and the shirt, and then I might do like a cuff here. I might not. It might be okay if it doesn't have like yeah, I'm being careful with the glass, don't worry. But it might be, I don't know if it needs a shirt sleeve or not. I think in the reference photo you can't really see one. And then, but I don't know if we'll get to adding the glass today or not, but we'll see how far we get. I think, I'll be honest, I think kind of the first thing I want to do is paint the background, because it looks weird with this hair that's in the wrong spot. So I'm thinking that might be, which do I want raw umber or burnt umber? I don't know what the difference is. I'm also debating whether I want to use my very colorful palette here, or I have this like paper that's built to be like a palette, so it's like kind of shiny. I could use that. The idea with this is that it's then disposable. You can tear off a sheet and you have the palette to use later. But let's see here. I think let's start off by trying to cover up some of this stuff. We'll see which brown looks better. I really don't want to get. Yeah, I think it's probably good. I really don't want to get paint on my clothes either. Normally I'd wear clothes that I wasn't too worried about, but I didn't really do that today. I did switch sweaters because I figured I could roll up the sleeves on this one a little bit easier. Yeah, that'll be good brown. Let's I might even go more black here and then go out to the brown. And then I want to go, yeah. I mean, I have my lab coat downstairs I can grab. Probably have. I have painting clothes somewhere. Oh my gosh, I can't get this quite open. That big glob of that there. I know I'm gonna need a lot of that white. The white's more opaque than the brown is for sure. But yeah, for like people here might not know this about me, but even more so than resin, my first artistic love is painting. I've always loved painting. I want to do more oils. Oils are like, this is acrylic. Anyone wondering, this is acrylic paint. I've done some oil painting. I did it in a painting class. I do have a fine art minor from school. So I have done, you know, a little bit of oil painting, but not, I've only done it for like one class. Hello, how's it going, Cobra? And I'd like to do more of it. Oil painting is so different from acrylic painting. Acrylic painting is about like layers, and oil painting is more about moving things into, like moving colors into where they need to go. That's kind of how, it's almost more like sculpting in my brain. That's how I think of it. I think I want it darker, kind of around the head. Maybe I will go for the brown. I think the brown's nice. Oh yeah, the thing with oils is that you can get stuff to make it cure faster. Also, that's a fun thing. Oils cure. They don't dry, they cure. Fun fact about oils. Yes, you can do layers in oils, but if you don't add anything to them to like make them cure faster, they take like a week to cure. So your paint's still gonna be wet for like a week. Whereas with acrylics, this stuff's already starting to dry. It's still wet there, but it's gonna be dry pretty quick. But I mean, part of the fun of doing oil painting is that it stays wet for so long because you can do so many cool textures with oils that it's kind of hard to do with acrylics. I need to get some more emotes. Just reminded me. I need to get those figured out at some point. But yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think at one point of how I could maybe do like a stream. Maybe I could probably do a video. Video would be easy of doing like an en plein air painting, going out and about, and like maybe going down to like the river here and painting a scene the thing with the in plein air paintings that I did for my class is I always really disliked them right up until like the last little layer of paint, because kind of the way that style works is you're doing lots and lots of layers, and it is layers. No, there we go. We're talking about layers of oil paints. But it is kind of like you start at like the darkest colors and then you slowly add more and more layers of the lighter colors as it goes. And every time, like up until like that last like highlight layer, I'm just like, ooh, this is not turning out. I don't know how I feel about this. And then I add like the highlights and I'm like, oh, it's nice actually. That worked out. Do I have any of those? To be fair, even if this is not, it kind of looks like smoke billowing out of the neck of this at the moment, which I'm also not mad about. It's also kind of fun. Weird. I think I want a dark background though for the mirror bits is kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking I might want to go like a little bit darker here. I might come back with a layer of like some black and this brown mixed together or something, or just more of this brown. Yeah, let's do the whole thing. We'll do the whole thing. Just scoop up all this white paint. Dullahan? Wait, who's Dullahan? That name sounds familiar, but I can't think of who it is. Is this a character from something, or is this an actual person that I'm forgetting? Or is this perhaps an adjective that I'm forgetting? That would be embarrassing. Possible though. Water. So I'm kind of going opposite, I think, with this one that I kind of did with the bird. Oh, a Dullahan is a mythological creature that has no head, often portrayed as a specter of death. Oh, that's where I've heard the name before. I did a lot of research into different mythological creatures at one point for a book idea that I have. I have like a whole spreadsheet of mythological creatures from different cultures. Someday I'll find time to write that series of books. It wouldn't even be that important. I don't think there's going to be that many mythological creatures in it, but I wanted to get some ideas for things. Alright, let's get this. So, we'll get the background filled in. Next, I think I'm going to do the bow tie. We've got a 5-inch thick book all about mythological creatures. If that says anything. Oh man, I was one of those people that like was fascinated with Greek mythology growing up. I was one of those kids. I always enjoyed that. There's mythology in general school. Oh gosh, okay. Trying to get my paints open. Hard to open sometimes. I'll add a doll over there. What? Here's a question for you guys. What were like your passions when you were a kid? Because like I was super into Greek mythology. I've always enjoyed arts and crafts. That's always been a big like hobby and interest of mine. I still have a tendency to get like super invested in like one piece of media at a time. That's nothing new. Definitely got super into like one particular musical at a time, or a band, like a musical artist, or something like that. That's nothing new. But like, what were your like interests and hobbies when you were a kid? Let me get this in here. You were a science nerd. You still are. Also got into mythology in middle school and computer stuff. Oh, I used to like just research like psychology stuff too, and the brain. I always found the brain really interesting. I remember I went to a neuroscience panel at one point at UW. That was really interesting. That was after I'd already left, so I went with a friend. And it was one of those things where it's like, man, I really want the sheep brain dissection kit, but also I know I can't take it on the plane home, because I had flown over. But they had like a raffle. You could tell that it was a bunch of nerds in that room, because the raffle was for things like a sheep brain dissection kit. That was the vibe of this neuroscience panel. Yeah, always fascinated in that stuff. I just like, I don't know, I've liked researching things, I guess. But only like, I don't know, specific things that I was interested in. Let's see, what else? Like architecture and that sort of stuff. I spent a while thinking I might become an architect. I was kind of interested in that until I met up with an architect, and he was kind of a jerk. So, that kind of was just like, not as interested now. Also, I realized how much school it takes to become an architect, and I was like, I don't really want to be in school that long. Like, don't know. I did take some architecture classes when I was at UW, though, and that was kind of fun. Although I took the design drawing class, and that was one of those classes where at the time that I was taking it, I'm like, this is the most annoying class that I've ever taken. It's like, what is the point of this? And then like after it was done, I'm like, oh, actually I learned some stuff in that class. That was actually pretty useful. Mostly it was stuff like, we spent like a week doing nothing but drawing straight lines. Which it was one of those things where I'm just like, seriously, we're spending a whole week doing nothing but drawing straight lines. And then, you know, we got to actual projects and stuff, and you had to freehand everything. And a lot of it was straight lines. It was very technical things we were drawing and stuff, like isometric diagrams and things. I might go in there with a smaller brush. Music cut out? No, it's just like ambient. Me. Oh gosh, that one's louder. Is that music too loud? That song seemed really loud. Maybe it's just compared to the ambient music that was just playing. There's just like ocean breeze or something. Yeah, the arts and crafts is definitely getting after it. Hello! Going? I think I literally mentioned your channel on my last stream, so, you know, you're welcome. But also, hi. Yes, if, for folks that like metalworking stuff, Fuse LLC is also a person that's doing YouTube videos. But we're branching out a little bit today. We're doing some painting. Yeah, I think that'll work. I might come back to the background after we do the actual stuff. Shake it up from time to time. Yeah, I don't know. I'm debating whether I want to like branch out a little bit more on this channel from just resin stuff. I enjoy the resin stuff, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I enjoy it now because I always enjoy it. I don't know that I'll ever want to like leave it completely, but I don't know. I like lots of different arts and crafts. Maybe I might want to do some other things sometimes too. I like painting. I do like my painting. Okay, let me finish this up. Just a layer on the back here. And then we'll get to the more interesting stuff of actually doing the like bow tie and shirt. I just wanna cover up the weird stuff that I've got going on. How does the... Oh, I think I completely got rid of the shirt on that side. That's okay. We can add that back in. Meanwhile, I just knock the microphone. Hopefully that's not unbelievably loud in your ear. Alright. Cool. We've got the background like at least mostly covered now. There's still a couple spots here that could probably use another layer, but we'll come back later with probably a finer brush to go around the corners here and stuff. Alright. So should we start with the bow tie or should we start with the shirt? Maybe the shirt, because the bow tie is going to go on top. Let's see here. Yeah, let's start with the shirt. I think I'm gonna go try and get like kind of some more neutral tones. I'm not gonna go dark blue, I think, for the bow tie. I'm gonna go for a little bit more grayish. The thing is that I always end up just going with very bright colors. I don't know, all my stuff ends up being very bold and like primary color-ish. But let's see, maybe we'll go for, I think I want to get some like some black in here and maybe some kind of like some gray color. That's kind of how it is in the reference photo here is blue tie. Yeah, in the reference photo, it's definitely has a little bit more like browns and kind of gray tones in it. It doesn't need to be exactly like the reference photo though. This is all just a reference image for. Oh, hello, kitten. Just for something to work off of. Get angles and things right. Get the like how the light reflects and stuff. Oh yeah, if you just got here, the plan is I'm gonna have the suit jacket with the shirt and the bow tie and stuff, and then in place of the like face and stuff, we're gonna have shards of mirror. Just kind of like exploding out is kind of the plan. Because multimedia stuff I like. Yes, it's fun. Let's maybe do kind of like a Payne's gray, bluish gray. Get some like more neutral tones in there, maybe. And then we can come back in with some brighter blues for some like highlight areas. So I'm gonna mix up kind of some like some gray some blue. Ooh, a mirror knife could be cool. You could definitely. I have a big piece of mirror here. If I don't need it for my project, you could steal some mirror to try like cut out like a knife shape. That'd be kind of cool. Add a little bit of blue and some black. I'm just thinking of the like. I remember. Oh my gosh. The first painting class I took. I was talking about a couple of different painting classes. The first one I took, that's the one where we like made our own canvases and stuff. Oh my gosh, this is not open. The teacher was very like anti using black paint. We always like mixed our own. Okay, I'm gonna do something very stupid. Wait, actually, here, just a second. I'll just. No one can know what I'm about to do. Okay, we're fine. I've got it unscrewed. It's fine. It's all good. I totally didn't put that in my mouth. That's totally not a bad idea. Let's see. Just gonna mix this up. So little paint here. It doesn't mix very well. That is the thing with acrylics versus oils too, is because they you know they dry so quickly. Acrylics do. They also dry on the palette really quickly, as opposed to oils. I'm so used to acrylics, it's always interesting. This is acrylics I was mentioning earlier. This is acrylics that I'm using. But whenever I do oils, it's always like, oh gosh, because everything's completely different with oils. I tend to put my hand in it a lot, because you could see like earlier I was resting my hand on the canvas. I'm so used to acrylics where things dry so quickly that almost immediately you can rest your hand on the canvas again. Just put all of that blue in there. Put all of that blue in there. I feel like there was things I was going to tell you guys about. I can't remember what it was. It's kind of a Payne's gray. Let's try that out. Grab a smaller brush. That's a good one. I was gonna say, so part of the reason, the reason I'm not wearing my headphones today, like I said, if anything, it sounds weird with the music, let me know, because I do just have my headphones sitting over here on my tripod, facing away from you guys, but playing music, because for some reason, this ear has just been, like, swollen for the past few days. I don't know why. I just kind of, like, that's actually darker than I thought it was going to be. I just woke up the other morning and it was like swollen. I'm gonna do a fair amount of this gray, I think, and then we'll do some like lighter bits of it. I think I want to go a little bit more neutral. We'll leave some of this blue poking through. That's kind of the fun of like underpaintings and stuff, is when you have like, honestly I like doing like contrasting colors in underpaintings. I like doing it where you do, so if I was doing a blue bow tie, I would go opposite on the color wheel, which is going to be orange. Yes, orange. Yes. So you do like a wash of orange underneath, and then you do blue over top. Like, I enjoy doing that sort of thing. I always think that ends up looking cool. So you just have like little bits of the underpainting poking through, and it always adds so much just like depth and stuff to the painting. But this time around, just add some more blue to it. Just trying to get the shape right, though. Get the shape right. And then we'll fill in. Ugh. Okay, is the music a little bit loud? Let me turn the music down a little bit. That was something I wasn't sure with this setup, because I'm not facing the microphone. I just kind of have it off to my side. I couldn't figure out a good way to have the microphone in front of me, just because of how my desk is set up. So it ended up over here. See if that's a little bit better. A little bit of white. That's a lot better? Okay, cool. I just turned the music down a bit. I need to pull my reference photo back up. I'm probably not the most, like, traditional painter. Like, there's a lot of things that I'm sure past painting teachers would be like, oh, that's not the way you're supposed to do things. One of them is I'm just grabbing random colors, kind of. I'm not mixing them. I'm mixing them, like, on the canvas more so than on my palette. But probably okay. Alright, let's try and get our shape figured out. I think I honestly, this probably should come in. You got your own style? Yeah. You know, art classes are one of those things where I think they're useful for learning techniques and learning kind of like theory and stuff. It's a bit like writing, right? Or any other sort of art form where it's useful to learn the like basics and the standards just so that you know how to break them in a way that's going to work well for you. Like, that's kind of the fun of art, right? Is figuring out how to break the rules. It's the same with yeah, say like Shakespeare. Shakespeare came up with like a lot of new words. There's lots of words that he invented. We think, anyways. It seems to be like the first use case of them and stuff, but they make sense enough that we can figure out what they mean. Like, it's like how we can add, like, ed to the end of things to make it a verb, even if it's not actually, like, a real verb. Let's see here. Let me grab a little bit of black. I might. Should I grab brown instead? Should I send this a little bit more towards the browns than the blacks? Could do a little bit of both. Could do some dark blues. I'll add some dark blue in there. Oh my gosh, another one. These are always so hard to open. I got a bunch of oil paints recently. I don't know how many of them are still good. But I inherited, like, my grandpa's oil paints, because he used to do oil painting before he passed away. I kind of ended up with, to be fair, this easel that I'm using. It's a very nice easel. It was also his. Let's see here. Let's add some dark colors in here. And it's black. I should really sort through those. I think I want to do more oil painting. It's one of those things where I have so many things that I want to do, and I just have to, like, get around to them. It's always the same, right? There's just so many things to do, so little time. Looks like there's some brighter spots here. And a couple really dark spots here. kind of blends together here in the middle, but I think I'm gonna need to add a little bit of like a highlight almost, just so that we can kind of see the how it's like tied. This side's gonna be very much a highlight, and this side's gonna be very dark. Is anybody else here a fan of painting? I know other people here do other mediums. Anyone here also a fan of painting? Outside edge of this is also going to be a highlight, looks like. Yeah, there's a little bit more of a lighter color up there. My problem with painting is that every time I like leave and come back to it, it's like I'm doing like a completely different style almost. It feels like it's just like yeah, that was part of the reason. I have another painting that I do want to. I think we should work on at some point. I've also worked on that one on stream a little bit. That is just like a bunch of paintings in one, kind of. That one's kind of fun. The idea is that it is one famous painting. Painting tends towards miniatures painting. Oh, I should do miniature painting too. That's also fun. There's so many fun things in this world. Fan of watching others paint. Have no talent yourself. To be fair, it's not always about being good at it. Sometimes it's just fun to do. I say this like I'm a person that is I did a voice acting class in 2020. This is related, I swear. I did a voice acting class in 2020, and it was really fun. And I did the first one in the series, and it was one of those moments where I'm like, wow, I'm not very good at that. But I had fun doing it, because I am very much the person where if I don't get it right away, I'm just like, well, it's not for me. I should move on to something else. But I'm like, I think it would be good for me to do something where I'm not good at it, but I enjoy it. Because I don't do that enough, I think. So I'm very much the kind of person that's not good about... There's actually part of a bow tie here too. I'm so bad about actually doing things that I don't feel like I'm good at. So I'm being very much a hypocrite when I give that advice, I suppose, of do things you're bad at. But I do think it is also probably a healthier mindset than I tend to exercise myself. Alright, there's kind of like a darker section. And then that almost like fades together a little bit here. Yeah. Be challenged to try something different. Oh, painting blanks and putting them into shell dies. I have done that. That's kind of fun too. I'm working on that right now, actually. I mean, that's my Minecraft dice too. Is that? It's a commission. I don't usually like to show them off, but I am working on. Let's see if it'll click back over to the stream. I am working on some painted blanks at the moment. I need to get more done on those, but I've been busy with other commissions that came in first. Oh, you know, I feel like the bow tie's looking better from your perspective than it does mine. From up close, I'm like, ugh. But I'm looking at the screen now, I'm like, oh, that's not bad, actually. The shading's not terrible. The angle's wrong on the bow tie, but I feel like that's okay. It doesn't matter too much that the angle's wrong. I think I could go a little bit darker maybe on this side here. Maybe more black. Yeah, and I'm like, alright, yeah. It's good. To be fair, that's something also I found with painting. Sometimes it that's what you need, is just to step back and look at it from like a distance. I was in the middle of taking a painting class when the quarantine happened in 2020. What a weird time. It was weird. Let's do some feathering inwards like that. Do some like texture. And it was weird, but there's something about studio art classes. That's part of the reason that I started streaming. I started streaming on Twitch before I did on YouTube. But I just love studio classes where you can like stand up and like look at what everyone else is doing. Yeah, take it in as a whole instead of focusing on a specific detail. Exactly. Especially with stuff like, yeah. I tend to have a kind of a looser style anyways, I feel like, so it's probably... at least I want to have a looser style. That was something that I've always kind of struggled with, as I always love the paintings where it's very, like, heavy with texture to it. So, like, maybe the colors aren't... like, it's abstract in the sense that there's a lot of texture and to it. And I have always kind of, like, tried to get it picture perfect, which isn't necessarily a good thing, because I'm not necessarily the best at getting it picture perfect. Get some black in here, because that's darker here. I've always loved that style, though, of, like, just lots of texture, lots of abstraction, almost to the point where you have to step back a little bit and go, ooh, like, I can see it. I think that's part of why I enjoy doing the in-plein air paintings, even if, at first I was just like, ooh, these don't look very good. Those are very much paintings where you have to, like, step back and go, okay, I see it now. Like, that style lends itself to that sort of attitude, I guess, of having to take a step back. Like, let me grab, I think I have one just in the next room. Let me grab that real quick and I'll show ya. Yeah, that's coming along. I think we should add a little bit of color back in, maybe. Maybe add a little bit of color back in, add a little bit more of the blue. But let me... Oh, good, I moved that glass. Give me just a second. I'm going to grab that painting. And I think... Yeah, let me grab it. Oh, hello, Koshi. Sorry. Where is it? Oh, here. Here it is. Alright, I found it. So, for, the in-plein air paintings that I was talking about, it's very much layers of oil paints. Let me see if I can show it to you kind of like up close first. So you can kind of see what I was seeing while I was painting it. You know, there's lots of just like smudges almost of like paint on there. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about it. And then like I move it further away and I'm like, oh, it does look like there's like light down on the path. And you do see kind of like the difference in the color of the tree here. You can see that part of it's darker and some of it's like a slightly lighter green. You can see the difference in colors of like the grass. But up close, it's just like, wow, that's a lot of paint. That's just a lot of like brush strokes of paint. Lots of smudges. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's the path, I guess. You gotta look at it. look at it from a distance. But this was I think, was it the first? I think that's maybe the second in plein air that I did for that class. Yeah, it does sometimes help to just step back. Yeah, looking at the stream. Oh, I love painting. I enjoy painting so much. I've always wanted to be an artist. It was not something that I thought I could do. The whole dice thing was an accident. A happy little accident. But I have always told myself that I don't want to paint for a living because I just love it too much. So let's see. The same with all art, no matter what medium. The overall message of the image can be lost when you're close up. Rather, zoom digitally or up close in person, it comes together further away. Yeah, I can see that. I feel like that's kind of how it is with all art in the sense that you're more likely to see the small faults in it too. Because it seems like a lot of people, a lot of artists tend to see the flaws in their own work more than other people do as well. Because they're looking at probably the small details, whereas other people are looking more at the whole of it. I bet that's some of where that comes in as well. That's more of that slightly. Yeah, I do feel like it doesn't quite translate as well in person, but again, I might be looking at it too close. Let me just... yeah, it'll work out. Let's add some more color. Let's add some color back in, though. Do we want to add some blue in? Ooh, let's add some of this blue in. I think that'll be kind of pretty. There's some in that picture, actually. If I can get any... ooh, I don't need that much. I just want a little bit. Just a little bit. For kind of like some highlighty bits. I was thinking for the bow tie here, I was debating, instead of trying to paint any sort of pattern on it, I was debating trying to come in with like some embroidery thread and like stitch a pattern on it. How does that feel? Do we like the blue? Is the yes to stitching a pattern on it or to the blue color? Do we like the blue color? How are we feeling about the blue color? I don't, is it, should I add color with the stitching instead of the blue color? Though actually I think it's kind of working with just adding a little bit of the blue here to the, ooh, just a second here. Let me add some of that dark back in. Yeah, I think a little bit of blue is nice. Yeah, it adds a little bit more dimension to it. I can add a little bit in some of these spots. Ugh, I don't want that light of the blue. We are going to add some highlights here. Ooh. Highlights as well. Because we are missing some of that. And I might just do that almost pure white. I might just do the pure white and see how it looks. And then we can come back because we need kind of like a highlight along this edge here. Let's see. Is the white going to be too much? It might be too much. Oops, I stuck my finger in it. that. I might go over that a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit, maybe too much white. Let me add a little bit more of the gray there to kind of tie it in a little bit. And then probably some more of kind of the black. Okay, there's more of the gray, and then we're gonna add some more of the like dark black blue in there to over that even. I will make that a little bit darker in a second. But actually, it's not bad. Actually, that's not bad. I did accidentally get rid of some of the texture on this one, so let's add that back in. I'm missing some of those darker colors that I had in there. That's the other thing I found with things, is that one of the things you gotta do is you kind of gotta be bold almost with painting, because you need some of that, like, you need contrast. Contrast is really what makes things pop. So if you don't have that contrast, it just doesn't pop as much. You gotta put the really dark colors and the really light colors in there. Not, you know, I mean, it's my personal style, I suppose, but something I found tends to look nice. Feel like we should move on to the shirt. We can come back to the bow tie maybe in a bit and see how we're feeling. See how we're feeling about it. I say that as I continue to work on the bow tie. Okay. That's yeah, we'll come back to that. I don't know how I'm feeling about that light blue. I don't know if it's too much. Maybe it's just because of this right here, where it's almost too much difference between the, almost too much contrast. I was just talking about contrast. It's kind of almost too much here. Let's kind of blend that together a little bit more. A little bit better. Maybe it's a little bit better. Maybe it's still a little bit too dark. I don't know. That's why I need some stuff in there to kind of counteract it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's almost bad. Oh, hello, kitty. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you. Just put my foot down and there was a kitty cat there. Oh, it's okay, Koshi. You can come back. Come here, baby. Aw. My little scaredy cat, who I also stepped on. I'm moving on, I swear. I know I said I was going to, but I will. There's something doesn't feel quite right here. I've still got all my gray paint mixed up. Maybe the blue just made it a little bit darker there, so I don't have as much contrast. Maybe that's my problem. Like, yeah, maybe I need like some highlights. I think that's my problem. I don't really have the highlights. Let me add the highlights back in, and then we'll kind of call it. more of a highlight, even. I had it nice and then I lost some of the depth to it. This is also my problem. Is I tend to keep going past the point that I should, and then it's like, oh well, it was nice before I just kept going and I didn't need to. Yeah, we'll call that good for now. We'll probably come back to that, but let's get the shirt figured out at least. Are we going for kind of like a white shirt sort of vibe? Probably. Maybe I'll use some of the grays. I do want to figure out the location of things. I am going to kind of sketch here with just some white paint. Figure out kind of where the shirt is. I mean, in the photo, that's kind of where the shirt's at, right? And then there is kind of a spot here where the collar comes up from the jacket, but I think I could just do that in some black, actually. Let's grab a little bit of black paint here. Let me see here. Just put that in there. I think that'll work. I could add some of the red maybe with it, but it might be okay. I think it's just this red. I should not put that in my mouth. Oh, did my music ended. Just a second. I was wondering why it was so quiet. Let me go to the next page. I don't need that much. I just need a little tiny bit to mix with my black. And again, let me know if the music is my goodness, let me know if the music is too loud or anything. Okay, how does that feel for placement of the shirt? I feel like it works. I feel like that works. Let's fill that in with white and then we'll figure out the color that we want to go with. It obviously needs to be darker in a lot of spots. There's a lot of shadow over on this side and like here from the jacket and the bow tie. But we'll fill it in with white and then we can come back with some colors. Go over it. The nice thing about this white is how opaque it is. So it covers other color. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Covers other colors quite nicely. I can see why I couldn't say that. That seemed covers other colors quite nicely. There we go. Kind of a weird tongue twister sort of thing. Maybe we will get to adding the glass today. That'll be fun. Although do I want to add the glass? I guess I don't know what I want to do yet. If I want to do if I want to like add embroidery to the tie. I'm debating whether it's going to be harder to add embroidery after I add the glass, but it's probably not going to matter too much, right? I can't see why it would matter too much. Add a little bit more red there. Okay. Yeah, I think that I think that looks okay. I think that this is actually gonna go more up like this. That maybe not quite out as far. See, also the other nice thing about acrylic paint is that it wipes away quite easily. As long as it's still wet, you can put a little water on there and wipe it away. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. I think that's maybe a little bit better. Yeah. All right. Next question. Do we want to have like a little bit of a sleeve of the shirt poking out at the wrist? I almost kind of think so. Like there isn't one in my reference image, but it feels like there should be, you know? So I could add like just a little bit of a sleeve of some sort in here. Kind of like that. So it looks like it's just like a little piece of sleeve sticking out. Kind of like that. That's not quite the right angle, is it? Yeah, that seems fine. Alright, and then I could just actually, you know, I might be able to use this gray again. I might be able to go in with this gray almost and start adding this for our darker sections. I probably should do a slightly different gray just so it doesn't blend with the bow tie too much. But I don't know, I might change the color of the bow tie some. The color of the bow tie seems a little bit, I don't know. Actually, it might be okay because I'm going for kind of like the darker color on this is almost the lighter color on this, so it might work out okay. Although I probably do want to go even darker. This section is just like all the darker color. And it even gets a little bit darker kind of up here. There's a little bit of light, but this is part of the reason that I'm not good, I think, at painting people is you'll notice that my proportions are just slightly off. I don't have, like, in that, this is overlapping more with this. It overlaps more, and it's at a slightly different angle. I don't know why I'm, like, pointing out my shortcomings, I guess, as a painter, but you deserve to know. But yeah, I that's something I'd like to take like a figure drawing class. I think that'd be really fun. Cause I've never been good at like drawing people or painting people, and I kind of want to learn. But yeah, I've never been the best at getting my proportions or perspectives quite right. So when I'm doing like inanimate stuff, usually that's fine because it's okay if the proportions of an apple are slightly wrong, it just looks like a different apple. But if you get like the proportions of a person slightly wrong, it looks weird. Like, people tend to be mostly symmetrical. Not completely symmetrical, but mostly symmetrical. So you start getting into a weird spot when things are not symmetrical, and things start to look weird. Alright. So it's gonna be kind of like this, and then it's kind of like this. There's also a section here. I'm going black because this section is like really dark because there's shirt's kind of blocking it. I'll fill it in with some more of that gray. We'll come back with our other colors and fill it in more. Is it blending into... It looks very flat at the moment, that's for sure. Which is fair, because we definitely need more... there's definitely like more shadow here, down here, and more up here. Under kind of like the... yeah. So we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But for now... filling in our medium tone. That's kind of what we're doing here. What projects have you guys been up to? I've been really busy with like commissions mostly recently. I need to go. I'm probably gonna go check on some after this, see how they're doing on polishing. I need to get the Patreon D20s all inked. They are the ones for August and September. I had to think of which months they were. The ones for August and September are all polished. I need to get them inked though, so I can get those shipped out. The October ones are made. I just need to finish getting those on. Gosh, I need to do November's now. The October ones are made. They need sanded, but now I need to make the ones for November. It's December already. My goodness, time goes so fast. Oh my goodness. Ooh, soap making. That's so much fun. Yeah, melt and pour. Melt and pour. I have a little bit of melt and pour stuff. I haven't really done much with melt and pour soap. I've mostly done cold process. Yeah, true. Especially this time of year. That's another thing that I'm like, well, we could do that at some point too on this channel. It's like, I know how to make cold process soap. I also got all this stuff fairly recently to make like nice bath bombs. Not just, you know, baking soda and citric acid and cornstarch. Like, I got some stuff that makes it like more foamy and lasts longer and stuff. Yeah, I do think that melt and pour is different from cold process for sure, but yeah, might as well see if you enjoy the whole soap making thing to begin with. Alright. Yeah, should be fun. Oh, dude, cold process soap is so much fun. You do definitely want to wear gloves and stuff because you are working with lye, but it is a lot of fun to work with. Like I said, I'm like, well, I did soap before I ever did resin. Just if people don't know, that's where I started, was with soap. So I'm like, well, I have that whole breadth of knowledge there with cold process soap making. I could do some of that on my channel too. Maybe do some streams or something. Like, that could be fun. I need to make some soap. It's just a mess. My craft space is a mess. I rearranged things at one point. Oh yeah, it's so much fun. You can do a lot of things with cold process soap. What drew me to cold process soap was very similar to what drew me to resin. And that's kind of that you can almost add whatever you want to it. It's very customizable. There's a lot of stuff you can do with it. The options are pretty much endless. And that's just fun. which is fun. One of my favorite bars of soap that I make is one that has honey in it. So I don't know. So the interesting thing about one of the interesting things with cold processed soap, I guess, is that it gets very, very hot while it's curing. Because I mean it's lye and oils. The first like 24 hours while it's starting to set, I guess. It's not. It continues to cure for another 4 to 6 weeks or whatever. But while it sets, it gets very hot. It's very much an exothermic reaction. So if you do anything that has sugars in it, those really tend to get very hot. So if you want to do like cold processed soap with like honey in it, you go and you stick it in your freezer while it's curing. A lot of times you want it to get hot because it depends. But a lot of the like pigments, the soap pigments that you might use to color the soap, they end up a lot brighter if you let it set up really warm. You also got some single bar molds and 6-bar mold. Oh, okay. It's hard to do small with cold processed soap because you kind of make it in batches. The smallest amount that I usually did with cold processed soap was 10 bars at a time because it's just kind of difficult to mix up a small amount of soap. That's part of the reason I don't really do soap much. That's part of the reason I kind of moved away from it. It was just because it's very hard to do a small amount, and I had so much soap. So much soap. You end up with so much. Go. Oh, 18 bars. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I do it in batches of about 2 pounds, which is about 10 bars of soap. I thought you were saying though that you wanted to do like 1 bar at a time. I'm like, that's gonna be difficult to do. Don't know how well you could do a single bar of cold processed soap just by itself. I wish you luck. Go, that's looking a little bit better. Oh, set of 3 molds, 6 slots each. Oh, okay, I was a little bit confused about what you were saying before with that. That makes sense. But yeah, maybe we could do a soap video or something at some point. I have done soap on stream before, but I went and like mixed all the oils up beforehand because that's kind of the long and tedious process, and then the streams ended up being like 40 minutes long. So I'm like, well, I don't know if that's gonna be entertaining for people if it's a super short stream. I know a lot of people like watching streams because they're longer. I mean, I assume anyways. I don't watch a lot of live streams. Not a big live stream watcher. Nothing fancy, no designs, just block molds. We figured it'll be a nice starting point. Yeah, true. Yeah, silicone molds is kind of what you use for both. I maybe wouldn't switch back and forth between the two, but yeah, you have some resin molds you've never used. I just realized that I have some silicone soap dish molds. It could be really funny. Yeah, I wouldn't cross-use molds either, but it could be really funny now that I'm thinking about it to do some bars of soap that look like soap dishes. That could be kind of fun. Maybe I do melt and pour for those though. do like a longer stream, but would definitely watch the oil mixing process too. Part of the reason, yeah, part of the reason that I haven't really done the oil mixing part as much is because it's mostly just me sitting around and waiting for my oils to melt. Do soap in the shape of dice boxes? I mean, I could probably do soap in the shape of dice, right? Don't see why not. I'm trying to get my shapes here right of the shadows. Yeah, make some dice molds, use that for soap. Yeah, I've definitely thought about that. I've also thought about doing dice shaped like wax melts. I've got a bunch of like soy wax that I could turn into candles or wax melts. And I was thinking that like making a set of like dice molds and making little dice wax melts would be super cute. Or yeah, little tiny soaps would be cute. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I think it would be kind of fun to do on this channel that's not just resin dice. Some of the stuff like that would be fun, I think. I like that was something we were talking about at one point. I think in the Discord was doing dice, like a whole series of like dice out of different materials. So we could do like, you know, wax melts and soap and metal and concrete. I think that could be fun. You got your friend an early gift, a candle making kit. Even came with the stove to melt the wax. Oh, cool. They fell in love. Oh, that's cool. That's really fun. Man, this is looking so much better from further away. Sorry, I'm looking at it on the stream and it looks so much nicer from your perspective than it does from mine. I do want to add that button in there, I think. Let's get that in there. And I think maybe I want the shirt to be a slightly different color than the bow tie, because they are very much the same color at the moment, which is a little bit weird. Let's try adding a button in there. I think we could almost do with that with just some white. It's very reflective, so it kind of just looks like a highlight there. Let's see here. It's kind of like here. That's kind of how I did the buttons here that also look a little bit funky. We'll add a little bit more, maybe dark kind of around the side there too. Kind of like there's a little bit of a, yeah, because there's a little bit of a shadow kind of behind it as well. Definitely a bunch of white paint here. And a little bit of the darker paint, the darker paint kind of in the middle there where there's the thread and things, but let's get this first. Just a second. Oh, and then I want a little bit kind of like here. Yeah, don't look at it too closely. Don't look at it too closely. It looks great from far away. Okay, what color should we add to the bow tie? Because I feel like it blends in with the shirt too much. I think I like the shirt and the grays. But maybe the bow tie needs to move towards some other color a little bit. I don't know that I want to do blue. I feel like the kind of bluish gray of the shirt is kind of works, I suppose. We could do, I don't know. I do want to stand up and look at this from further away though. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah, it definitely looks better from further away. Let me, let's see if I can show you guys closer up. Maybe you guys can see all the flaws like I do. Ooh, whoa! Oh my gosh, oh, actually, it looks okay on camera. I feel like it is this spot right here is a little bit weird, but well, we can fix that. What if we added some like golden bronzy colors? What if we added just like some goldy sort of colors to the tie? Would that be kind of weird? I feel like that we have kind of like a blue, a yellow, and a red. We've got kind of like a triadic color scheme going on almost. So maybe like adding some like goldy, bronzy, yellow, brownish colors to the tie might be kind of nice. What other kind of... Well, we've got some brown here. I'll do some brown with this gold. Use that to kind of darken it up a bit. Go a little bit more into the brown colors. Alright, I've got some gold paint. Let's see. Acrylic, okay, good. I did want to double check real quick that is acrylic paint. It's not a huge deal if you do oils over acrylics. I guess you just can't do acrylics over oils or it does weird things. Let me go back to my reference image. I'm just gonna kind of maybe like tint this almost a little bit with the gold. Kind of ended up just going on a little bit. Yeah, well, let's also tint it gold a little bit. Change some of the like darker spots from being more, like black to a little bit more brownish. That'll kind of work with the gold a little bit more, I think. Have it be a little bit warmer toned. The fabric's looking really good. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I was quite happy with how the jacket ended up looking. To be fair, the jacket too was also kind of like I stepped back and then I was just like, you know, when I was painting it, I was like, oh, I don't know, is it good? Is it working all right? And then I stepped back. I was like, oh, that's not bad actually. Yeah, we've definitely still got some like cooler like undertones here because we've got that blue gray underneath, but I think that yellow and brown in there's warming it up a little bit. It's kind of nice. Ooh, that's kind of nice with a bit of a highlight to it, actually. I was thinking maybe that white was a little bit too much, but I think the highlight's nice. It needs to maybe a little bit more highlight up here. Add a little bit of white to really highlight this section. Yeah. It does have a little bit of a shine to it too, which is I also find kind of fun. To be fair, that is something I enjoy painting like fabric. I don't know why. I enjoy the process of figuring out like the lights and the darks and just how the light interplays, I guess, with fabric. I'm not sure why fabric specifically, but I do just find it fun to paint. I can't remember who I was talking. I was talking to someone and they're just like, oh, fabric. And I'm like, fabric. I love painting fabric. To each their own, though, you know, with that sort of thing. Oh, good, we do have music going. Yeah. All right, let's make this warmer over here. I'm also just gonna add a bunch of brown over the blue, warm it up a bit. We can leave some of the kind of blue tones in there. I think it kind of works with kind of the mix of the warmer and the cooler tones. music's still playing. So playing a weird... What? I can't hear it. I'm moving to the next song. Maybe the lighting itself is quite cool toned. Looking at the jacket, it feels like the lighting itself is quite cool toned. So I think the cool blues kind of work in the highlights, especially. Kind of feels like it matches for sure there. We'll still add a little bit of gold and stuff there, but add some gold up here. Come on. Add more browns. How's that feeling? How's that feeling on the... That's my tea, that is not my water. Let's not dip my paintbrush in that. It still has quite a bit of blue to it. Let me step back again. The fabric here, I need a little bit more delineation between the... Just kind of fade this in a little bit more instead of having that big line there. Okay. Doing a dark though. All right, how is this feeling? How's that feeling? I feel like that's looking okay. I'm looking at your guys' view instead of my view because I've found that seems to translate better to like how it looks at a distance. How's that? I don't know. What do you guys think? How's that? Ooh, my headphones. Go. Just kicked the auxiliary cable out of my headphones. How is that feeling? I do want to do this down here in our darker grayish blue. Before I forget. Oh my gosh, come on. Yeah, we'll do a little bit of white on that just to kind of highlight the edge. All right, so if this is feeling pretty done, I think we can get the background color kind of like finished, and then add the glass, right? I wasn't even necessarily expecting to get to the glass today, but I mean, there's how it's looking. I feel like that kind of works. I feel like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Let me add a little bit more black there. All right. So I think I like the like whites and browns. I think I want it a little bit darker, or like around where the head sort of is and the arm sort of is, because I want it to kind of feel like everything's it's like heavier here and then going outwards. I want the mirror pieces to definitely stand out, and I feel like they're going to do better with a darker background. But I do like the browns. I also cannot hear that song. Next one. Is it playing? Oh, it is. Okay. It's just really low. So yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go in there with some brown and some white, and kind of fan this out a little bit. And grab a little bit of white. But I do want to kind of move it up and away. And this is going to get covered up by the glass shards, as the mirror shards as well. So it's not like this is. Let me grab a smaller brush for around the edges here. It's not like this is like, I know that it looks messy at the moment, and I'm gonna try and clean it up a bit, but it should hopefully, you know, look a little bit cleaner because it's going to be covered as well for the most part. But yeah, just kind of emanating up from here, I think. My other brown. I have two browns here. I think this is the right one. Yes, but anyways, yes, I know it looks weird right this second, but we're gonna fix it. More brown, and I need more white. Oh my gosh, if I could open the white. So this is what we need. I need to be thinking about for the next part. The next part is gonna be, I'm gonna add the glass shards. Do I want to do bigger pieces here going out to smaller ones? That's kind of what I'm thinking. The reason I'm not 100% sure is because I'm thinking about like how a mirror shatters, and usually at the point of impact it's like the smaller pieces and then it goes out to the larger pieces. So do I want to think of this as like a point of impact, or do I want to think of it as pieces flying out, where the smaller pieces are probably gonna, like, you know, it's gonna fan out sort of thing? That's where I'm at. I'm leaning towards, like I said, bigger pieces towards the epicenter sort of thing, and then smaller pieces further away. I just feel like that makes more visual sense. It's again, kind of a weird... Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of glare. Oh, okay, sorry, just like I'm gonna hold this slightly differently. It's getting hard for me to see the canvas here. You could also kind of give like some lines of action almost. Kind of have the paint strokes going in the directions that we're gonna have things kind of flying out. I'm not necessarily going for I'm not going to like highlight the texture of the canvas as much, which I'm kind of doing at the moment because the paint's kind of dry-ish. I cannot hear the music. Oh, again, it's for a base. Let's move to the next one. Yeah. Kind of works actually. It's kind of like there's almost like a halo of light, which I guess will kind of work with the mirror as well. Man, that looks weird. That looks weird like that. Because there kind of is kind of like a halo effect almost here with, because I kind of went like this before. There's kind of like a round section. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I like it or if it's kind of weird. Maybe both. But I'm going to try and kind of cover it up a little bit, I think, with some more paint. I look like I look like some sort of weird creature from beyond. It's more dark here. Alright, let's do the same thing around the hand, too. Yeah, we'll do the same thing around the hand, too. It's kind of weird, but I kind of like it. Like, I kind of like it as is. I am still gonna add the mirror shards, but, like, it's kind of just cool looking like this, too. Maybe I'll take a photo of it like this, because I quite like it. It's just kind of, it feels very weird and avant-garde, almost. Not quite avant-garde, I guess, but... But I've had the idea with the mirror shards for so long. I don't want to just leave it like this. I want to do my idea. And a little bit more water. Alright. Add some more water again. Ooh, weird, creepy music. Honestly, kind of fits the vibe of this painting currently. I feel like this painting feels like it needs some weird, creepy music. this lighter color. I'm trying to kind of like spread it out a little, fade it out a little bit. Oop, sorry, didn't mean to bonk you guys. Let me do a little bit more in here. Actually, I'm gonna do that with my smaller brush because there's some sections there where there's some random colors sticking out. Let me do that here. Get this covered up. I know I've gone quiet all of a sudden, but I'm trying to get this part covered nicely. I'm just focusing so hard on my covering of this section. All right. Go back to this. Yeah. I think we can call that good. Why not? All right. Should we get out the glass and see how it looks? Oh, let me take a picture first. I did say I was gonna take a picture. I also set this paint away because I think we're maybe done with the paint now. Let me get it out of the way. All right, so. My goodness, okay. I've also got just paint water on the desk. All right, so let's, oh, hello, Luna. Let's see here. Let me grab some glue. Grab some glue and then let's think about how we're gonna do this. I do think this would probably be easier if I laid this down flat. I'm tempted to move you guys so it's not on the easel anymore. It's on my desk. Because that might be easier. How do you guys feel about getting moved? Let me move some things. Ah, keyboard. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking I might move you guys. Let me see. How is that gonna be the easiest? I mean, I can just angle down. All right, just a second. You guys are get moved. Let me see here. Ooh. Try not to hit everything as we go. All right, just a second. Let me set this out of the way. All right. Yeah, I feel like you guys can see that all right. I think that's gonna be easier to easier to lay out the glass pieces and kind of see how it's gonna look. I can close this. We don't need that anymore. We're done with the actual painting part. Yeah, sorry, you're a little bit, just a second. You're getting moved. Oh my gosh. There we go. I have my microphone now going through the tripod, over the river, through the woods. I might move me too. Let's see here. I'm gonna move me up here so you guys can see the oops, that's not what I wanted to do. There. So you can see the head part a little bit easier. All right. You can see these parts, which is where we're gonna add the glass. So let's see what we've got in here. Set the glass over here. So I do have some bigger pieces. I have some smaller pieces. Some of this might still be a little bit wet, but most of it I think is gonna be okay. So let's just start pulling some of these out. I think I'm gonna try and be careful not to cut myself. These are just broken pieces of mirror. And I do have some like little tiny pieces that I think might be cool kind of out towards the ends. I do feel like some of this might be cooler if it was in shards as opposed to like squares. Like this piece would be really cool, but it's also like too big. Although I could have it extend off the canvas. It'd be sharp and dangerous if I had it extend off the canvas, but it could be cool. But that feels too big, I think. We could also break some of these to make them smaller. Let me get some of these big pieces out of the way though. But yeah, we could break some of these to make them smaller. Let me move some things so I have a little bit more space here. Alright, let me just get these out of the way. But yeah, I do think that a lot of these would look better if they were kind of in like shards of glass as opposed to like, this is very square. You know, this one is very square. I do have some shards in here. This is a very, very nice shard sort of shape. Yeah, but like I said, we could break some of this down. Ooh, that's a cool shard shape. Do you like my bin of just broken glass? That's what's in here. I wonder if that one could fit. That might be kind of cool. But I feel like a lot of these don't necessarily match that same sort of. Yeah, I'm trying to be careful here in my box of broken glass. There's another good shard shape. Ooh, that's a dead spider. Put that back in there. Eating dinner? Can I interest you in some shards of broken glass? No? You don't want shards of broken glass in your dinner? How bizarre. Alright, let me grab my tweezers here. Some of these I think it's gonna be easier to grab out of here with tweezers. Like, there's some very small-ish pieces. Oh my gosh, I can't grab this one. It's caught in like the little divot of the box. There we go. Sorry, I keep bonking you guys too. think I've got, these are some of the kind of smaller pieces, I suppose. I might need to break some more of this glass. I'm trying to think of what the safest way to do that is. I'm gonna move these very square ones out of the way. Well, let's start out with some of these kind of like shard pieces. See if we can get them lined up in a way that we like. Ooh, that kind of lines up with the shape of the neck there quite well. I could go like that and then maybe have like a little piece right there. Too much fiber. Do I have that right set up? No, I don't have that right set up. But kind of like that might be kind of nice. Do it like that. And then let's see here. I want things kind of extending outwards. That's kind of the feel that I want to go for here, is things are exploding outwards. And I think that's part of why I kind of want like a shards of glass, because that feels much more explodey, I think. I don't know how I feel about this piece now, because it doesn't feel like it's exploding outwards because it lines up with that. It almost feels like it needs to be kind of like cut a little bit more. Let me move all of these small pieces over here. Just gonna do that. So I'm not doing that with my fingers. Yeah, maybe I should have more like the pointed ends, I think, towards the center. That feels more explodey. Like that feels more explodey outwards. But yes, I do need more pieces of glass, I think. I need some more smaller pieces of glass. So I need to figure out the safest way for me to break some of these pieces, I think. I think that's gonna be necessary. Some of this, like, maybe I do want smaller pieces towards the middle? Does it feel more, maybe it's or do I want just like a mix overall? You like the current arrangement? Yeah, I do too. I'm just kind of continuing to add pieces. But I just know that I need some more because I also need to do, I want to do the arm over here as well. What's gonna be the safest way to do this? Probably put it in a bag, wrap that bag in fabric, and then hit it with a hammer. Does that seem like the safest way to break this glass? I do have a glass cutter downstairs, I suppose. Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, I think having the narrow points towards the center makes it feel more explodey. Yeah, I could also just use my paint one here too. I have my paint cloth. I don't necessarily want glass. Well, I don't really want glass in like one of my good towels. This one I'd be less worried about. So I could wrap it in this and then break it. Should we? Let's go for some of these smaller-ish pieces. Just like wrap it and then like. Nope, that's not gonna work. Yeah, I don't really want exploding glass everywhere. I do kind of think a hammer would be the best way to do this. Like, wrap it in this, hit it with a hammer. Maybe I put it in here too, so that if things go outwards, and they shouldn't because it's going to be wrapped up, but if things do go outwards, it'll be contained in the box. We'll have all of our bits of glass in here. So, like, put our towel in there. Put that in there. I don't know how I'm gonna hit it with a hammer. Actually, I guess I'd have to hold it and then hit it with a hammer. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to break glass safely. What's the safest way to break this glass? Yeah, probably wearing eye protection and stuff would also be smart. Probably would be good to wear protective stuff. I do have goggles, but I think they're downstairs. Should I just glue what I have so far and then worry about breaking the rest of the glass later off stream? Once I can... Yeah, a hammer and a towel is probably the best way to do it. Hi, Luna. How you doing? You guys want to see the kitty cat? I think... She's been here, like, the whole time. How you doing, sweetheart? Let me look. We'll have a short cat break while I think. Oh my gosh. If I don't wobble too much. Kitty cat. There's a Luna. There's a Luna. How you doing, baby? I can just set you guys over here. Ah! There you go. Cat cam. Alright. It is just a box, yeah. She had a, it's a replacement box too. She had a different lid from a different box that she absolutely loved. And then that box came with some cat food. And her other box was so torn up because she loves to stand in her boxes and claw at them. So I replaced it. She seemed to do all right with the replacement box. She seemed okay with it. Are you a happy girl? She just likes her boxes. That's my excuse for having boxes all over the house. It's just Luna likes them. Alright, let me maybe... Oh, your cat likes her box bed too. Let me maybe... Should I grab a hammer? Are we doing this now? I would hate for me to get, like, injured on stream. That seems like it would be a poor life decision on my part. I think I probably have a towel. Yeah. I probably just use this towel too. I think, okay, here's what I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, that's the thing, is towel I don't care about. I think I have some, like, rags that I could use. But I'll need to go find things. So I'm debating just gluing on the, glass that we already have. And then worrying about breaking the rest off stream at some point. How long have we been going? Yeah, we've been streaming for about 2 hours. We got everything painted. Just a second, let me... Oh my gosh, how did I cap this before? There we go. Alright, yeah, I'm debating just calling it and then worrying about trying to break a bunch of glass. We could glue this on, although I don't know if I'm gonna get, Oh, that's true. That's a good plan. I do have one more short to finish editing and put up for the last stream. I was working on that earlier today. I might try and get that done tonight so I can put it up like tomorrow. But yeah, that could be fun. Do like a short of my attempts of breaking the glass. Maybe I'll do that outside when it's light out again too. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe I will. Let me just set that somewhere where it's not gonna. I'm thinking maybe we will call it here. Just so I'm not doing dangerous things like breaking glass live. At least if I film it, I can edit it if I get hurt or something. Hopefully I won't get hurt, but also I need to go find some equipment and stuff, and I want to go find my eye protection and a hammer and things. I know where they are, but I'd be running around the house trying to get things. But yeah, this is kind of the idea. I think maybe I'll try and do a short of breaking the glass and then maybe also gluing the glass on so that you guys can see how it turns out. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out while we got the rest of the actual painting part done. I think that it worked out well with doing kind of the darker color behind. I do think that also added to the explosion kind of feel with the slightly darker brown going out to the lighter looking at it. I think that'll be cool. But I'm gonna leave this here for now, and then I'll be sure to post photos in the Discord, and I'll try to make a short of finishing it up. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Let me check my calendar real quick. Pay no attention to the things I'm dropping. I think. Yeah, so I do plan to stream next week. I'm not streaming the week after that. I have a caroling thing. But I will be back next week. Don't know what we're gonna work on next. If you guys have a request for something, I know we've talked about doing soap. We could finish this up next week, although probably I'll want to do something else. We could pour some resin. So if you guys have ideas for things you would like to see in a live stream, you know, let me know. We could ink some dice probably. So. Yeah, probably let me know in the Discord, or you could do it in the comments of this stream after it's posted, or just in the chat. But there's enough of a delay. I'll probably be done with the stream by the time you hear me say that. Have a good rest of your day or night or whatever time it is for you. I will see you guys next Sunday, if not before then. I have to find the right camera. Bye bye. Bye guys.